went out and bought Final Draft. I didn't even have a FING computer. The actor and comedian recalled on his Peacock show, Hart to Hart. Kevin Hart is looking back at his time living with former roommate Jason Segel. During an episode of his Peacock talk show Hart to Hart, the comedian, 45, sat down with Judd Apatow, where the two discussed their careers, and Hart recalled how Apatow, 56, once made him and Segel live together while making a 2001 pilot together titled North Hollywood. As Hart recalled, he watched Segel, 44, writing every day on his huge Mac, using the writing software Final Draft, which he was a big advocate for, telling Hart, "If you're trying to write, Kev, you gotta get Final Draft." Hart told Apatow he went out and bought the program, even though he didn't even have a FING computer at the time. "I didn't have a computer, Judd," the Jumanji, the next level actor continued, laughing. "I had no place to put it. I spent $300 something on Final Draft, and I came home, and I was like, Jason, so I got it. Like, what do I do now? Do I set it up on your computer?" Once Segel told him he needed to purchase his own machine, Hart said, "I had to go buy a Dell, and without knowing, I just used to start writing S. I didn't know what the F I was writing, but I was writing it because Jason was doing it. And Seth Rogen was doing it. And they were doing it because you were doing it," he told Apatow. "So naturally, I got into the habit early on of creating because I was in an environment where that's all they did," Hart added. Segel previously opened up about his time rooming with Hart during an April 2022 episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live, similarly noting that Apatow made Kevin Hart live with me for like 6 months because he thought it would be good for the show. "It was a strange time," Segel said as he spoke about the unaired North Hollywood pilot, which also starred Amy Poehler, January Jones, and Judge Reinhold. "We were all really young. None of us had really had that much success yet. And I just lived in a one-bedroom apartment," the shrinking star continued. "So all of a sudden, Kevin Hart was living with me, and he'd be like, 'Hey man, are you making breakfast? I'd like some too.' So then I'm making breakfast for Kevin Hart." Segel went on to say he has never seen anyone work as hard as Hart does. "We would be out doing stuff, being young dudes, and he would stay home and write," he recalled to Jimmy Kimmel. "You would think like, oh, that's cute. And then you're like, oh, that's how you do it. That's how someone ends up being Kevin Hart. I still think about it sometimes. He's incredible," Segel added.